Welcome to my bike restoration. This is my third VF1000 that I'll be doing. It's an 85 VF1000r. I've done a VF1000F Interceptor before and a VF1000r, which is the exact same year model as this one. So this one is my next one on the table. I've taken most of it off already as far as wiring harness and other bits and pieces, but now it's time to get down to removing the suspensions and the last pieces and pulling the engine so the frame can go out and be sandblasted. So a couple people have asked me to do some video work with this stuff, so let's see how it goes. I hadn't pulled the grips off yet because I knew I had to get it up on the table, and a lot easier to do it when there's some hand grips to hold on to as you're pushing it up on the table. I use these food containers I got from Costco to store most of my parts in. They actually work pretty good for most things, other than the big stuff. Just getting the the clutch master cylinder and removing the clutch slave cylinder. As in most people, I spend most of my time looking for tools rather than using them. I usually leave the hydraulic systems closed off until I'm ready to restore them. The fluids tend to absorb water. It's a somewhat hygroscopic material and I don't want any corrosion setting in. A very handy tool that I've come to love. So many purposes for it. Before I do that, let's drain the oil out of this thing. I'm suspecting it's probably pretty good shape because the person doing it had this bike before me and was hoping to get it running. Won't be needing the front wheel stocks for a while, so off they come. I replayed all of my screws, either black, gold, or bright, so I'm not too concerned about marring them with the impact. So this is an air crossover tube up here, which equalizes the air pressure on both sides of the forks. So when you're taking it out, just going to be aware that there's O-rings in there. They are still available from Honda, so if you do cut them, it's not a problem replacing them. But also to be aware of is these clips. There are these wire clips that go on the top end of the triple clamp and underneath the air crossover. Not 100% sure, but I think their purpose is safety, so that if something goes loose, the fork isn't going to fall off the front of the bike. Yeah, I'm a bit old school. I don't wear gloves. I always found them to be a bit of a nuisance. When working on these Japanese bikes, you want to be sure that you use the proper tools if I can find it. The JIS screwdriver is different than a Phillips. Has a different way of engaging the screw. And pretty good risk that you're going to strip things if you don't use a JIS. Yes, I like using an impact for disassembly. I've had better luck with it not breaking off bolts because of the jar nature of it. So it's sort of my go-to tool. And it's just a lot quicker than screwing around with other shit. This is just my little way of doing the engine removal on these if you're doing a full restoration. I'm pretty much always on my own. And these engines are pretty darn heavy, so I'll just creep it down a little bit. And then I build up blocks at the back end. It's just my way of doing it. I've done a couple this way, and it seems to work pretty well. Definitely a gradual sort of thing, but like I said, when you're doing it alone. think I'm going to do is pull that back tire off. Since we're sort of at that point. So I'm not too afraid of it rolling over anymore. I've got a piece of wood underneath the front headers in the oil pan. And I should be able to let it down quite a bit. I'm going to totally give up on holding it straight. But I don't need this one anymore. Okay, so that's sitting now across the front of the oil pan headers and across the back of the collector box for the exhaust, so it's actually pretty stable right now. Alright, switch back entirely on the exhaust box, the collector box. And it's just a matter of getting that front piece of wood out of there. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to use a little bit of help on this one. If I tighten these straps down, that'll pull the tail down and it'll lift the front end up. Loosen up this block. Alright, onto the disconnect the engine from the frame. I'm going to clean up a few tools and then once I do that, then drop it down.